Okay, I'm going to show you the new updated action bar changing macro that I use for Fury. Nothing really too crazy. It's just doing Whirlwind and Hamstring back to back. And I think this is going to probably be the rotation. And you're most likely going to be able to use a ton of rage. And there's going to be a lot of opportunity to use Hamstring. So I think it's going to be with the Wind Fury and the Thrash Blade. I think the Rage Gen is actually going to be high enough where you most likely be able to lock in every global into Hamstrings. But we'll have to see when I raid on Thursday if it works or not. But for now, that's what I think it is. And that is essentially the same thing as the other change bar actions, except it's doing nostance 3 into Zerk, and then it's doing Whirlwind, and then nostance 3 into Zerk, and it's doing Hamstring, and then it just basically goes back and forth between them all, between bars 1 and 2. That's basically it. Alright, I am Arms. I'm going to show you the macro, the 1-button action bar chaining macro that I use in Raid for my main rotation. It's essentially just Overpower, Slam, and Moral Strike. And it just rotates between those 3 abilities, because that's you want to be using them on cooldown and whenever they're up. Little button mash. And that's basically how it works. It just rotates between 1, 2, and 3. I'll show you the macro in a quick second here. Once this mob dies. So it's just the same thing as before, except it's nostance 1 battle stance for each one. And then the first one is Mortal Strike, the second one is Slam, the third one is Overpower. And that's all they do. It just rotates through the 3 bars, 1, 2, and 3. And that is basically the Arms rotation. It's just hit this, hit Rend, use Heroic Strike when you start to get high rage. And then later, when you start getting really good gear, you'll probably be facilitating quick strikes in between your globals, in between the cooldowns on Mortal Strike, Overpower, and Slam. So that's that one. Okay, the last macro to show is just the action bar changing macro for Prot. I have it set up to do Shield Slam, Revenge, Thunderclap, and if you want to, I don't have it doing Thunderclap right now, but if you want to do Thunderclap, you just change the action bar from tank button 2 to 3 right here. Change your action bar to 3 instead of 2 or instead of 1, and then keep that as 1. And then it will rotate between Shield Slam, Revenge, and Thunderclap. Mainly, you want to be doing that if you're tanking like a lot of AoE, or if you're doing a dungeon, or whatever. If you want to use Thunderclap. And then if you don't want it to do that, you just change it to 1, and it will only rotate between Shield Slam and Revenge. So that's it. That's all pretty much for the macros. All these macros for Arms, Fury, and Prot. These ones will be down in the description. And I'll also have a link to my weak orders that I use as well. If you're wondering how all these like weak orders that I use, I'll link all those down in the description as well. And yeah, that's basically it. GG's. Bye-bye.